Hello everyone, welcome to another video review. Today I'm taking a look at Transformers Siege War for Cybertron Trilogy HOUND from, well, Transformers Siege War for Cybertron. But before we take a look at the toy, let's take a look at the box. So here we've got your typical Siege box. Here it is right here, Transformers Siege War for Cybertron Trilogy. It's for ages 8 and up. Of course, that's just a suggestion. They have to put that on there. This is made by Hasbro. Transformers. That is a authentic Generations figure. And this is also co-manufactured by Takara Tomy. On the side here, it is War for Cybertron figure number 9. He is Autobot HOUND. Of course, he's an Autobot. You can see that there. On the side, we see that this is a Deluxe class, and we've got some nice artwork of HOUND right there. And then on the side here, we've got a poster, again, saying this is an authentic Transformer. And then we've got kind of a poster on the side. And then on the back, we've got the toy and all the things it does. It transforms in 14 steps. You can add on these blast effects, blah, blah, blah. And that's pretty much it for the box. So here we have HOUND. HOUND is probably, in terms of G1, one of my favorite Autobots. I've got a lot of favorite Autobots from G1. Of course, you got Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, Wheeljack. I've also got a soft spot for Perceptor for whatever reason. I don't even understand that one, but I kind of like Perceptor for whatever reason. Power Glide is another fun one. But HOUND has always struck me as interesting. He got a lot of focus in the first 3 episodes of G1. But then after that, he was just kind of... Bumblebee kind of took his spot, because if you remember, HOUND was sort of kind of being built up to be Spike's friend, you know, his kind of, you know, Autobot friend, but then Bumblebee ended up taking that spot and has forever since been the Kid Appeal character. So it was like, sorry, HOUND. I mean, HOUND had a lot to do in the series, of course, but he was always just treated as more of a side character than a main character after those first 3 episodes. The most notable thing I can really think of him doing, besides just, you know, helping out in main combat stuff, was probably in Fire in the Sky, when he uses his hologram trick to trick the Decepticons to think the Autobots have been destroyed. Other than that, I mean, it's been a while since I've seen those, you know, early episodes of G1 and Season 1, but that's kind of all that's coming to mind right now. But regardless of that, HOUND has always been one of my favorite Autobots from G1, so to see a Cybertronian rendition of his G1 form, I really like that. I think that's cool. So here he is. Here is HOUND in his Cybertronian Jeep. It's very interesting that the Cybertronians somehow managed to make a vehicle that looks eerily similar to one of our Jeeps that we would invent in World War II. So that's the funny thing. That's the funny thing. Well, you got to make a toy, and it's G1, so you know, they didn't exactly have Cybertronian robot modes. They had Cybertronian vehicle modes, but not robot modes. And you know, the robot modes were designed first, so they had to design these Cybertronian vehicles based off of what they knew their robot modes would be when they're on Earth. And so, you know, very few G1 characters had Cybertronian modes. The Seekers had them, of course, because we get the Tetrajets. Bumblebee, Wheeljack, Jazz. I'm not really sure of anyone else. I mean, technically speaking, I guess Shockwave has a Cybertronian form, but he's just a gun, so... oh well, that is what that is. So yeah, I mean, for being a Cybertronian Jeep, I think HOUND looks really, really good, especially with his added weaponry here on top. It looks like he's ready for war, he's ready for combat. Of course, you've got a nice Autobot symbol stamped right there on the front. Mine is slightly, you can tell it's kind of off to the side a little bit more than it should be, which to my kind of OCD is annoying. But I mean, that's just it's not really a big flaw. It's just a small little, oh, that's irritating, and that's all it is. So yeah, HOUND looks pretty good. You can remove his weaponry if you want to. I think the vehicle mode looks, oops, that came untabbed. This tabs in down here. There we go. I got it back. So I think he looks better with the weapons on there, because he looks like, you know, an armed battle buggy ready to dish out some hurt. But yeah, he looks good without the weaponry as well. So you've got little seats in there. It almost looks like, and I don't know why that would be hollow otherwise. You know, it's a Jeep, so it kind of looks like there's a little Cybertronian command console. So I guess mini-cons could sit there or something, I guess. I don't know. He's not one of the Power Masters from Titan's Return, so you know, you can't remove his head and put the little robot in there. But so yeah, so there is Hound. We'll get into some size comparisons now. Here's one of his Autobot buddies, Ironhide. Ironhide is a much longer vehicle, as we can see. Hound is a smaller vehicle in comparison. Ironhide's nice and long, while Hound's short and stocky, but they certainly look good together. And then here we have Fall of Cybertron Deluxe Optimus Prime. So Hound and Optimus are just about the same here. Optimus might be just a touch shorter. It's really hard to tell, but overall they're pretty much exactly the same in length. So I think those three look pretty good together. The Autobots in their Cybertronian moods. So we'll just move them off to the side, and we'll go ahead and get down to transformation. One thing I like about the Siege toys from the ones I've gotten so far, which aren't many, but it's enough to kind of tell, is that, like the G1 toys themselves, the transformation is very simple. So we'll go ahead and get into Hounds. So first, this kind of happened a few minutes ago. This tabs in, so you just want to untab it. Then grab these wheels and untab them. As you can see, there's just a great big tab there. That goes into that port there. If the camera wants to focus, there you go. Tabs right in there. Then these can be a little tricky. I mean, they tab in very securely, so it can be a little. There we go. So now we've got those free. So now we can just kind of take this whole leg assembly here, untab it here at the middle. That kind of happens naturally, and then bend the leg. Same thing over here, bend the leg, and then bring this up. That'll tab in there. This will fold down to be the foot. The exact same thing over here. That'll fold down, fold down. Now I want to bring out the arms. As we can see here, this will all fold down to create the chest. I want to fold that up and in. This will come back. Now we just get the arms situated here and pointed in the correct direction. And then these are on hinges, and then you just have them into there. I think it helps if you raise up the arms and then push in. That gets them nice and tabbed in right there. And then we'll go ahead and, just to complete the look of Hound, because he's got the little missile launcher up there, you can just tab that in to the port right there. And then there we have Hound in his robot mode. And Hound does look very good in his robot mode, I think. I mean, well, he looks like Hound. He's Hound in his Cybertronian mode. His legs are very thick. I mean, when you look at him, when you look at him from the back, it's, you know, 4 big old wheels, but the transformation is very simple, and the figure seems very compact. I like this figure. So you can, of course, give him his other weapon, and then this does separate to where you've got the separate drum mag, so you can have him reload if you want him to. You can hold it and either hand. So there we go. He's got his weapon ready to fire at the Decepticons. So we'll get in close on his face sculpt. Face sculpt looks very nice. Like a lot of G1 characters, he's got a very simplistic face design, but it looks like Hound. So, I mean, he's got the stars on his shoulders and everything. Again, looking very much... it's like, very strange that a Cybertronian alien from another planet would have stars like you would find on a Willis Jeep from Earth past 1940-ish. So, very interesting, but hey, it is what it is. I don't really... it's just one of those funny little things about Transformers that it's just like, that's odd, and then you ignore it, so... Yeah, so there's Hound. We'll go ahead and bring in size comparisons. Here we have Ironhide. He is a much taller figure compared to Hound. But Ironhide is this big bruiser of a bot who's not afraid to get down and dirty with the cons and get right up in their face and beat them. So it makes sense that Ironhide is a larger figure. I do actually kind of appreciate there being a bit of a size discrepancy between the two. I'm not sure. I feel like they were kind of the same height in G1, but considering how much their personalities have been developed since then, because as much as these figures are of course inspired by G1, I mean, it's impossible not to see the inspiration there. I'm still pretty sure that I don't think we'll really know. They haven't really officially said. But I don't really think we'll know until the show comes out. But I'm pretty sure that this is a new continuity that's just utilizing the G1 designs, like how or G1 inspired designs, like how the Power of the Primes trilogy utilized the those G1 inspired designs, but it was kind of a G1/IDW inspired continuity. I'm pretty sure. So considering how much the character personalities have been developed in the years since G1, I think it makes sense that Ironhide is taller because, he's this big wrecker of an Autobot, who's, I don't think has actually been part of the Wreckers, but anyway, and then Hound, he's a tracker. He's with the exception of Bumblebee, he's like the Autobot head scout, so. Then here is False Cybertron Optimus Prime. He and Hound, again, about the same size. So, go ahead and move them off to the side. And then for one last comparison, we'll bring in Megatron, leader of the Decepticons. Of course, this is a Voyager, so he is much taller than Hound. So, there's how they stack up. Deluxe, Voyager. So, yeah, that is that for the size comparisons. Now, I'm going to do something I didn't do with Ironhide when I reviewed him because I did not have those, because I had not been able to find, because I'd not been able to find any at the time, but I have since found some, is I will be going over the effects parts you can use. Yay! Because I managed to finally find some. It took me a while, but I found them. So, as advertised on the back of the box here, you can find the Battle Masters, and they come with effects parts that you can then plug onto the weapons. So I was considering doing a review for these Battle Masters, but they're so small and they're very simplistic. I mean, it'd be like a 5-minute review, if that, to go over all 4 of them that I've got. I mean, that's the gist of what they do, and then they turn into a robot. So I've got 4 of these guys now. That's all I'm really going to say about that. But you can, of course, utilize these effects parts to great effect. So now his gun is firing there. You can have his missile launcher firing as well. This actually even makes him even look more G1-y because this wasn't really... Oh, I mean, it was a missile launcher, but he had a missile loaded in there in G1, where here... It's just a barrel. It doesn't look like it has anything loaded in. So that pointiness kind of makes it look a little bit more G1, which I kind of like, even though it's, pink. So, and then there's also ports on him to make it look like he's getting shot or something. Let's see here. This one's a little more tricky because it bends backwards, so sometimes it doesn't necessarily fit in places you'd want it to. For instance, there's a port down here that I definitely won't be able to get this on. I think I'll be able to get it on the gun, no problem. Yeah, so you can do that. You can switch it around and do that. I mean, very, very cool. I love these things. These are really cool. Can do that. Put that back on with that, and then maybe there we go. So yeah, Hound's taking some fire, but yeah, he's dishing it out just as well as he can take it. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I love all the different effects parts. So I'll go ahead and remove all of these, but I think I will stick this back on here just for the wrap up, because I mean that's just cool. That's just cool. So, and then of course, you know, because these have the universal port, you can hold them. It can fit into the ports there. You can do that with the Battle Masters if you wish. Just don't care about showing that off. So yeah, so that's Hound. I really enjoy Hound. He's a cool toy. He's definitely one of those that, yeah, he's been kind of higher on my list of favorite characters. But really, when was the last time we got a G1 inspired Hound toy? It's been a while. Like Ironhide, it's been a while since we've had a G1 inspired Ironhide toy. So he was due and we got one. Hound was due, we got one. So I'm very happy with that, because the only version of Hound we've had recently has been movie versions of Hound, which I've enjoyed. It's a very different take on the character, but I'm really happy to have. I was really happy to get those. I'm really happy to have this. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I would certainly recommend him. He's really cool, especially if you can also manage to find the effects parts, because then that just kind of adds to it. So yeah, that'll pretty much be it for this review. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that great stuff. Remember to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Those links are in the description below, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.